Welcome everybody. Just a few short announcements. I won't take too long. Let me see if I can fit to screen here. How's the audio? Okay. Let me just go here. Checking on you guys. Yeah, I just wanted to give a few announcements. I know Jay and Tristan are going on in a little bit, so I didn't want to interrupt them, but I'm really excited about some news, and so wanted to share that with you guys. I'm also trying to, just bear with me one second. Get the links that I can send to you guys as well. A lot of the links are already in the description, but just so I can pop them back in too. Yeah, so it looks like Jay and Tristan are going on in 15 minutes, so hopefully I can wrap that up before then. How you guys doing? Good fast? Everybody doing well? I didn't plan this, but I was just thinking, I'm gonna throw it out there. I could have advertised on all the socials, probably brought in some more people. But at least we'll have this out here. I just want to remind you that super chats or donations for this stream can actually be made here. Super chats and donations. Did I do that right? Hold on, I don't think I got that. 1 second. Copy, paste, delete, and let's go. Yeah, there we go. All right. Many of you know that we have created a Patristic Faith website. Hello everybody, we got 14 people. That's not bad for not being announced. We just want to thank you again for all your support. Feel free to send a donation or super chat if you have any questions to my Streamlabs tip right there. Every penny counts. Every donation really helps us. But let me just show you real quick what we got going here. So I put a lot of work in this, and hopefully you'll appreciate this. So this is our Patristic Faith web store. It's at https patristicfaith.myshopify.com. And what you have here is all of the philosophy courses that I've taught packaged into one. Now these aren't just simply pre-recorded lectures and links. They're actually embedded within like a whole course that makes it much more enjoyable, much more interactive. And so it's also nicer just to be able to come here and look at the kind of what's available in the Patristic Faith Store, and we'll add more. Right now, I don't have the ability to sell simply individual courses. For most of these, and I mean individual lectures, for most of these, an individual lecture is $20 to $25, depending on what course it is. If you would like to purchase singles or bundles you get like $5 off by getting two. So suppose you don't want to actually pay a full course, which is anywhere like it says $425 to $450. You can do a third of the course. And if you're not quite committed to that, again, you can do bundles or singles. On the bundles or singles, please just email me either at fatherananias@patristicfaith.com or eswarm9 at hotmail.com to purchase single ones. But these I've actually built for you, either a full course, for example, epistemology, and you can come on here and click this, and you see the discount sale there from $600 to $425. Gives a course description, related products. There's payment plans here you can add to your cart. So notice here, let's say I added 2 to my carts, and then I could check out there. So it makes it so much easier. I'm actually going to delete these out of my carts because I don't need them because I've taught them. But notice I want to come back here and show you exactly how this works. So suppose I want to do a third course of ethics, okay? And so I click on this and I want to add to cart. Okay, I want to check out. Press check out. That way you don't have to wait on emails for me getting you stuff. If I go back. So you can either do Shop Pay, PayPal, Google Pay, Venmo. You can use credit cards now. And it just makes it so much easier, right? That you have multiple options here that you can actually use. I'm going to go back. And I'm going to view cart here to remove. So you can put that stuff in your cart if you're not ready to buy. We have epistemology, full course, 1/3 course, ethics, full and 1/3, introduction to philosophy, the logic and critical thinking, philosophy of science and political philosophy. What I really want to share with you guys too, before I get into this right here, is also available tutoring in logic or philosophy. That's $90 an hour, which is discounted from what most people charge. But if you buy a package of 3 tutoring sessions, you can get that from $270 to $225 right there. How that will work is obviously I'll get an email and then I'll contact you as far as booking and dates, and days and times to provide tutoring in the various subjects. But you can actually look in here and see that it gives a description. Purchase and book your own live one-on-one tutoring sessions with an actual professor of logic, philosophy, Father Deacon, Dr. Ananias, FDDA, to cover various topics you choose related to some of the university courses he's taught. Topics include, but are not limited to, history, philosophy, logic and critical thinking, Christian apologetics, Orthodox theology, epistemology, political philosophy, ethics, philosophy of science, and philosophy of mind. Okay. All right, let's go back here. And we're going to have much more available on here, products. We're going to link this and embed it even into the Patristic Faith website itself. We'll get our Lore Coffee linked in here. But look at this. This is what I want to advertise. That's why I'm coming to you. Logic and Critical Thinking online Canvas course. Now, there's payment plans through Shopify. If that doesn't work for you, contact me and perhaps we could work out your own kind of payment plan if you don't want to. I mean, it's always better because without the multiple surcharges for fees like PayPal fees and stuff like that to purchase the $850. But in case you don't have that, again, you can have 4 interest-free installments from $76 a month, or contact me. It's a fully interactive online college course. It uses the educational software called Canvas. That's why I call it the Canvas course, which is employed by many colleges and universities. Students who sign up for this option will have a choice of going through a 16-week course with me that includes weekly assignments, weekly discussions, threads, fellow students, with fellow students. So unlike the other ones where they're just pre-recorded lectures, this is interactive. You're doing all of this. Just like I teach at some of the colleges in what's called an asynchronistic course. Now, an asynchronistic course is pre-recorded lectures, but there's assignments, there's involvements, and there's also live office hours. Each week, probably we decided on Wednesday, we'll do live Zoom calls and have an hour where you can engage with me about homework issues, philosophical, logical questions with the professor. And so you can either go at your own speed, that's an option, or to avail of it, the full extent of the course is to be engaged weekly, but that's up to you. Again, these are not accredited yet, even though I teach at accredited colleges and universities. Perhaps in the future, that's something that we could actually get you retrospective, and I can even give, at the end of completion, a grading certificate that if we were to get this eventually accredited, that could be retrospectively applied to that. So that's a possibility, but there's no guarantee at this point. Again, this is exactly how professors teach, is through Canvas educational software, and you get much more out of that purchase. Now, again, think about compared to college prices. This is a college course for $850. And it's a 16-week course if you should so choose to go week by week or go at your own time. If you purchase this, you'll have permanent access to the Canvas. And if I just show you, here is actually the Canvas software. So you have your syllabus is actually built in here. So you have calendar. You have a breakdown of the weights and what's actually required here. You have your text. Okay. You have files in which you access all your materials. Look at that. You get a free PDF version, although we'll be using the 13th edition. And if I come back here and pop up the camera for you, this is my instructor manual of the 13th edition. And so the pre-recorded lectures, which are actually embedded in there, so you don't have to go to links or anything like that. It's in the course. You could choose to buy this or choose to go with the free version. The free version, the answers and the problem sets that are assigned will not exactly match or necessarily be the same as the problem sets that are in the 13th edition here. So I provide the actual assignments out of the 13th edition, so I'd recommend actually buying that. It's a great thing. But it's not absolutely necessary. That's just if you want to get the full benefit out of that as far as turning in as you see, various homework assignments there. And otherwise, you can go for the free option and just follow along the lectures and do the assignments and try to figure out the answers by yourself. But that is the advantage of actually purchasing the 13th edition to go along with this course versus just getting the free version is I'll have a breakdown of answering the problem sets that I actually assign. Okay, moving back here to the Canvas course. So you see the files that are all built in here, the various PowerPoints. You have your grades, quizzes, discussions, modules, right? Check-ins in which I'm checking up here, things that are easily accessible. So you see this is all kind of built in. You have an immediate inbox to me. and various other things like Big Blue Button and things that are integrated in here to make it just an overall better kind of learning experience that you'll get out of that versus just having lectures. Now, if I come back here, you'll actually see that once you sign up for this course, which will probably commence next week, I'm taking up signups right now. We've got a few people that have already actually registered and paid, but here you have a breakdown of topic by topic, week by week. Again, if you want to follow the week by week program here, it's a 16-week program starting next week. I'll take out open enrollments for the next week or two, and then I'll close it. Now, if you come in a week or two late, it's obviously your responsibility to kind of make those things up if you choose to go by the week by week program that I'm offering. If you want to take it at your own pace, none of this stuff really kind of applies to you. And you'll see here, you have all the embedded lectures here. Going down. And we have 21, it was actually maybe 22 actual lectures, just various assignments and things. So this whole course is already built. It's ready to go. It's ready for you to sign up and avail of this. Let me just switch this real quick. Of this fully interactive college course of logic and critical thinking. How much time? If you want to go week by week, I'd say maybe 5 hours a week would be fine. If you could carve that up and space that out, that should be 5 to 6 hours. Here are, if you're interested in further, you can write me at Father Ananias at Patristic Faith.com or esorm9@hotmail.com. If you are actually interested, I would appreciate. Why don't you go ahead and shoot me an email and say I'm interested. If you want to pay the full price again, and it won't be as expensive. I mean, you won't be getting the additional service fees and stuff like that. If you can do the $850, that's obviously the preferred. If you'd like a payment plan, either pay that through the Patristic Faith was already set up, or contact me as far as how you want to work that out. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, give me a write. Let me know if you're interested. I want to sign up, and hopefully we'll get that kicked off. Like I said, the course is already built. Hopefully we'll kick that off next week. And yeah, you're going to find it really enjoyable and get a real benefit. It's definitely worth the money, especially compared to how expensive colleges are. You're getting a full university logic course for $850. Let's see. Any other questions? Just wanted to announce that. Any questions? Let's look at this. Again, if you want to give a super chat or donation, we'd much appreciate it. It takes money to run all these kind of websites and pay for the Shopify and the different apps to keep that running, as well as my web designer and stuff like that. So, and the various projects that we're working on. All right, let's just look recent events. Let's see if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to Patristic Faith here on YouTube. Thank you so much. Magdalene Nomas donates $10. God bless you. Thank you so much. That really helps. And let's see. Again, if you haven't subscribed to Patristic Faith YouTube, please do. Please like that. Smash that like button, and also leave a comment for the algorithm. I want to share something with you real quick, and then I'll let you go because I want to cut into Jay Dyer and Tristan's thing. Okay, somebody asked here, Unlisted Logos, would you recommend your logic course if we already took one at our school? Yeah, of course. I'm confident that I probably teach logic better, hopefully. But again, you always benefit from logic and going back over a lot of this stuff, even if you did take that in school. It's so important. And the great thing about logic too is, again, whereas some of these other courses are kind of more of a niche, logic is just, it's universally beneficial in whatever area that you go into. Learning how to read critically and identify good arguments from bad arguments, how to do proper kind of exegesis, how to construct arguments, identify fallacies, and just sharpening, training the mind as well. That whatever you go into, it has extreme benefit of just sharpening your critical thinking and reasoning skills that I would think is one of the most valuable things that Patristic Faith could actually offer, or an educator could offer you. So absolutely. I'll share some comedy with you real quick, and then I'll let you guys go. Today was my last lecture at the college, and so we're doing reviews for the final, and students are great. Students often give me gifts, and they're just fantastic. It's been a fantastic semester, and I've been very blessed. So one of the students came up with a gift today, and it was Dr. Storm's quotes for Intro to Philosophy 101 2023, quotes taken very out of context. So I found them really amusing, and so obviously they're taken way out of context, and it kind of makes them funny, but some of these I can actually explain. So I thought I'd give you this as a treat, and then I'll sign off and let all of you have a blessed evening tonight. Okay, first quote. Are you ready? Are you ready? It warmed my heart that the students actually paid this much attention. They were writing down Dr. Storm's, Father Deacon Ananias's funny quotes for the year. Yes, by the way, Unlisted Logos says, any plans of doing a Theology of Time lecture that you mentioned? One of the things that was kind of unfortunate is that the Philosophy of Time lectures are quite detailed. I mean, it covers a lot of stuff, and typically that's usually a 4-lecture series, in which case at Carroll College I was only to be able to fit 3 in, because today would have been the 4th and final lecture of that, which is the Theology of Time. But we needed to actually spend time reviewing for the final exam that I'm going to be giving next week, working on their papers, giving feedback and stuff. So it's just kind of some of the things that were kind of more fundamental and necessary that need to be addressed today. So I told some of the students wish that they had the 4th lecture on the Philosophy of Time entitled The Theology of Time to kind of complete that, but we had the things that had to be done today. And so I promised them, look, I'm going to try to actually just stream and cover that. It's really wonderful, this orthodox kind of understanding of time, and I'd like to present that to you guys. So hopefully, yes, on Listed Logos, let's do that. Okay, moving on. I want to read you these funny quotes taken out of context from Father Deacon Ananias's philosophy course this year. The students wrote these down and actually presented these as a list of quotes. Okay, first one, you ready? Now I believe in Santa Claus because he's a real person. Yes. So new calendar, if you were on new calendar, you celebrated him yesterday. Number 2, Aristotle is a Muslim at heart. Number 3, often say this one. Okay, smarty pants. Okay, Kant, smarty pants. Number 4, I will teach you how to refute your friends, family, Twitter, professors, and die alone. Number 5, Jello Buddy Bops. Do you guys not like my Bill Cosby impression? Another good one. Next quote. Nope. That is not true. 3, an evil demon put it in my head. Which leads to the next one. Did I say 3? It's way down the list. The next one, let's destroy Descartes. I like that one. Next one, quote, this is a ghost ball. It died. Can you still play pool? I think we were going over David Hume and causality, and I had drawn these pool balls on the board, and then kind of like the not so clear kind of pool ball, they'll kind of look like it's moving in motion, and then we were joking about it looks like a ghost ball, but if it's a ghost ball, can you play pool? And this led into the kind of whole mind-body problem that Descartes, that if you have something like bodies versus minds define a complete antithesis, can you have causal interaction? I think that's when it came up. It was probably actually with the Descartes stuff. I'm just trying to remember. This one's great. Obviously, the Nazis built a time machine to create bots that bug me on Twitter. Another famous Father Deacon Ananias, Wycombe. Another quote, from thug to saint. Probably a reference to Saint Moses the Black. And maybe encouraging students that, we're all sinners, and but we all can become saints. Next quote, in this lecture we're going to learn how to make time machines. And as you'll notice in this, for some reason I'm obsessed about time travel and time machines. There was a fly flying around the room, and I guess somebody pointed it out, and I said this, it's not a fly, it's a military weaponized drone spying on us. Next quote that they wrote down from this year, come on guys, let's get those numbers up, end quote. What an influencer, the student says. Next one, speed is philosophy, and speed kills. Next quote from Father Deacon Ananias, straight into hell. Yes. Next quote, can somebody turn this dang heater off? We had a problem this year that there was no control on the thermostat, so the heater was just constantly blaring. It was disgustingly hot. So obviously this was something the students got a kick out of. Next one, I'm having a stroke. Totally out of context, but I remember when this was actually brought up. This was about category errors. And for example, we were going over Gilbert Ryle. She came home in a flood of tears in a sedan chair. We gave other categories errors like how fast is blue run smelling on Tuesday. And I made a joke like, obviously I'm mixing my categories or I'm having a stroke. Next one, this one's funny. See what's so great about philosophy class? You learn everything. A next one that came up recently, if you're watching Philosophy of Time as well, I bet you didn't think you were signing up for math. Next one, instead of Aristotle, it's Eric Stottle, which is my birth name. But I like the next one, Arab Stottle. Okay, this one's definitely going to need some explaining. Here I am having an affair with an AI bot. And I gave this list to my wife to read when I came home from school today. And she was like, well, what the heck is that? I said, well, sweetheart, it's when you were texting when I was in class, when we were having a conversation of philosophy of mind, in terms of artificial intelligence and the Turing test and things like this. And one of the things was when you're chatting with somebody, how do you know that there's a real person on the other end, or is it just an AI bot? And so it just happened to be my wife texted me right when I was making those points. And so I used that is, how do we know that's my wife on the other end of that? What if it's an AI bot impersonating my wife? And now I'm having an affair with an AI bot who's pretending to be my wife, who's not my wife. Okay, so giving you some context there. Next one. I want to smoke brisket, not meth. Yes, amen. All right, this next one's definitely going to need some explaining. A gathering of homicidal maniacs is a church. Okay. This was in response to bringing up Protestant objections to orthodoxy when we're trying to define what and give the essential marks and attributes of the church. And a Protestant might say, well, church just in Greek means ecclesia, which just means gathering. Oh, it's just a gathering, you see. Well, if it's just a gathering, then I guess a gathering of homicidal maniacs is a church. Okay, that was my counterexample. Taken out of context, it sounds awful, right? It says a gathering of homicidal maniacs is a church. I really like this next one. It's called sorcery, and it's from the devil. Next one. You should wash your hands because it helps my Bitcoin investments, which I guess all of you have been washing your hands because Bitcoin is up. Anyways, that was an example to basically explain that we could all hold true beliefs, namely you should wash your hands, but for the wrong reasons. Because what if I believed that you should wash your hands because I thought that my Bitcoin investments go up? Would be for the wrong reasons. Next one. Sounds sus, right? Wouldn't it be sus? They got a kick out of that one. Next one. Gottfried Leibniz is an imposter. Next one. Really funny. You're all going to a mental hospital. Next quote. Anyone else want to get famous? The next quote they wrote down. All of you are Zoomers. Yes, that is true. We have another quote here. Some goofus puts the tree on a conveyor belt. That's when we're going over absolute space versus relative space in motion and different reference frames of trains, in which case you're trying to determine what train is actually moving if you're next to each other. And so you feel like you're moving, but that you look at outside of the two reference frames to a third reference frame, i.e. the tree, to realize that, oh, well, now relative to the tree, I see it's not me moving, it's the other train, I'm staying stationary. Only to be compounded further if some goofus put the tree on a conveyor belt and now the tree's moving. See what you're getting? Like if you sign up for these philosophy courses, you can have fun, laugh, and learn at the same time. Next one. All right, shut up. I never said that to students, but when I'm engaging with the text and the philosopher, and I think they're giving me a con, and I go, okay, shut up. Next, I'd like to assign you coordinates like these goofuses here that were on the PowerPoint. that was in a philosophy of time. The Saturnese are the people who obviously live on Saturn. I like this one. It's us versus the Australians. If we don't figure it out, we might end up in a world that's upside down. Isn't that a great one? What possibly could I be talking about there? Again, the philosophy of time, and we were going over whether space is relative or absolute, and I had the Earth and then Saturn, of which the people who live on Saturn are the Saturnese, of course. And we're trying to figure out, well, which planet's above the other and which one's below. And from the visual on the PowerPoint, it looked like Saturn was below Earth, but if space is relative, Saturn could equally say that they're above Earth. It's dependent on your reference frame. And so I popped up that hilarious map of where the northern hemisphere is actually the southern hemisphere and everything's upside down. You've seen that where the map that Australians would make. It's a joke. But I said, this is what we stand to lose. If we can't figure out if space is absolute or relative, we're going to what? We're going to have these sort of Australian maps and end up in a world that's upside down. So the kind of practical application of figuring out deep philosophical problems, which you'll learn if you sign up in my courses. Next quote, not on my watch, not even once. Man face bear pig was another famous quote. Of course, the universally apodictic, true and infallible statement, there are never going to be married bachelors. This one's pretty funny. I'm late all the time. Why? Because I'm wasting time messing around and arguing with people on Twitter. Yes, I confess. This one is hilarious. I don't even remember when this was brought up. Bruh! Your beard's demon possessed. Next one, Carolina Reapers are the hottest. I will never try one. Philosophy of mind. I'm going to do an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression of him eating a Carolina Reaper. Smash that like button was one. He's repelling normies. You got ratioed. Next quote, if I create a time machine with my gum will be good forever. I was always having to spit out my gum because after chewing gum for a while, you know, that loses the flavor and becomes disgusting. So I said, you see, if I create a time machine, my gum will be good forever because I can just travel back in time and make it good again, so it will forever be wonderful tasting gum. Philosophy of time. I'm blind, I can't see was another one. You just imagine what topic that was in. I don't remember. I aged according to, I think they said space, but I think it was, we were doing relativity, the theory of general relativity, from different reference points of larger planets, or actually with special relativity too, by increasing velocity that approaches the speed of light. That's the space-time dilation. And students were asking about that, and I said, you age according to that space-time dilation unless you are Benjamin Button. Next one, speaking of clowns, we also saw where clowns go wrong, which leads to the next quote, you'll float too, you'll float too. All right, let's get back to time travel was the quote. And I would like to see you suffer through my impressions. Thank you, students. Carroll College Philosophy 101, 2023. I hope that gives all of you tuning in tonight a taste of just how fun my classes will actually be. Please sign up. There's Patristic Faith here. Store Patristic Faith. .myshopify.com patristicfaith.com. Does that even link anywhere? I'm going to remove it. No, I'm going to copy and paste it, and because that's not working. You can check out the store there and purchase any of those. Write me if you want single or bundles. But certainly write me, because I'm going to, if you're interested in signing up for the Canvas interactive logic and critical thinking course that will most likely start up next week. And so blessings, everybody. Thank you again to our dear friend Magdalene Mos, who donated 10. We also want to give a shout out to Sulion, who donates $10. Thank you, Sulion. And keep me in your prayers. May you all have a good fast, those of you who are Orthodox and participating in the fast. And a blessed nativity. What a beautiful time of year when even the pagans and infidels participate and praise Christ the Savior, who was born for us men and for our salvation. With that, I bid you all a farewell. And till next time, God bless. I'll probably stream tomorrow night our catechesis class, and I'm continuing ongoing Orthodox education. So it's not just for inquirers or catechumens, but also those Orthodox who want to continue their education. And we will be picking up on the essentials of the Church of Christ. And if you have the book, we'll be starting, I believe, on page, just want to make sure I got this here, 239, the attributes of the Church, and we'll be finishing that chapter tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. If you're East Coast. So God bless you guys, and thank you again for all your support. Keep us in your prayers, and my prayers and love to all of you guys. Okay, bye-bye.